Hello and welcome to week 7 of my D&D diary. We didn't do the Tomb of Annihilation campaign this week. Some people living in Australia and some people in Canada, so it's hard to make the times match up. And we didn't do the Del Toro Quest campaign this week. Again, scheduling. But instead of that, one of my housemates ran an introductory Blades in the Dark session. Blades in the Dark is my first experience of a non-D&D tabletop role-playing game. It's set in a Dishonored-esque universe, and it focuses on being a criminal and going and doing heists with different gangs and building up your crew. My character is a Skovlan spy called Svetlana, but she goes by the alias Vodka, and her class is the Slide, and that's basically someone who goes in and tries to use sway and deceive people and try to get people to do what they want them to do. One of the other guys I played with, he's also playing a very attractive Skovlan, but he's playing a male character and he's playing the class Cutter, and his alias was Miller. The Cutter's really good at breaking things and hitting people and that type of thing. And then the third person who was in our heist that session, a Whisper, and I can't remember where she was from, and I can't remember her actual name, but we all called her Grandma just because we were playing like plucky young 20-year-olds and she was playing like a 30-year-old. And a Whisper can talk to ghosts and summon demons and that type of thing. Grandma did a terrible British accent, and we were both doing dumb Russian accents, and it was just lots of fun. So we got given a heist by one of our contacts, and it was to break into the store that's actually a front for a criminal organization and to steal their medicine. So some of us scouted the area and we found out a back door, and we also found a door on top of the building. And so the plan was I would go in and distract the store clerk, and Miller would climb up onto the roof, break his way in via the top, and then let Grandma in through the back, and they could steal the medicine while I was distracting the store clerk. I go in, I have a 2 in sway, which means I can roll 2d6s and choose the best result. All I need is a 4 or higher for some sort of success. So 5 and 6 is success, but there's some complication, and a 6 is just a flat out success. And I didn't succeed a single one of my rolls. And so his suspicion builds, and so he comes over and I signal my cue because he's come out and to talk to me, to confront me. And that's when Miller climbs up to the roof. And on the roof, he breaks down the door, right, to get in from the top, and he finds a guard. He goes to fight the guard, but the guard stabs him, and just all his attack rolls were not coming through, and I was not working. And at this point, Grandma tries to break in the back, and she fails her roll, and so she snaps the lock, and so there was no way that door's coming open. So I was since I wasn't working, I left. I came around the back. I'm Grandma, we need to switch roles. I'm going to sit here and wait for Miller to come down, and you go distract the store clerk. So she goes around. She successfully distracts the store clerk despite having nothing in sway. Miller successfully takes down the guard that was up there just by taking damage and saying, "Oh yeah, I had armor on," and that type of thing. And so eventually he beats the guard and comes downstairs, but he can't get the back door smashed open. That arises suspicion from the guy at the register, and he picks up a gun and goes out into the back room. Luckily, Miller has a chance to hide, and so he doesn't get shot. So we just run in, we beat a couple people, and then we run down into the cellar where they have all this illegal dealings going on. The player playing the Whisper manages to convince a ghost to possess the captain, and the captain is no, these guys, I trust these guys. And the captain convinces the doctor to give us the medicine, and we get the medicine and we just like book it out of there. So things went wrong, but it was just super fun just playing these like zany characters. We haven't made a crew yet, and there's like this whole dynamic with downtime and like building up your crew and that type of thing, which I'm interested to explore if we continue to play this role-playing game. In the Curse of Strahd campaign last week, Madam Ava gave us a card reading and predicted our future. So each of us have interesting plot points to follow, and we all have these unique things to think about. We stayed overnight at the Vistani camp to avoid sleeping out in the wilderness, and before we left, we went down to the Tasia pool, which is like this sacred Vistani place, and some of us went swimming in the pool under the waterfall, and one of us found what appears to be a compass and a bead, which is like the compass always points towards the bead no matter where it is. And so I think it's a really interesting magic item. I'm interested to see what the party does with it in future sessions. But we continue along. We go over a bridge. We're headed to Valicai. And on the way, we run into some people running along the path, and they're being chased by werewolves. And so 2 of the people get taken out before we can even get to them. And then we hide and we wait, and we lay a trap for these werewolves. And as the werewolves come past, we jump and we attack them, and we managed to beat them down. One of the other people that were running away from the werewolves died. So 3 of them died, and there were still 2 of them that survived that we managed to save. And it turns out they were cultists of Orcus, and they were on their way to pay respects to someone we met previously. I can't remember her name. She was like the mistress of the Death House. They treated Magnus, the barbarian, as Orcus, or that's what we think at least. I made a prediction before where I said I thought Magnus may be a vampire, but I'm thinking now maybe he is a descendant of Orcus, and is his ancestral guardians that embody him, one of them might be Orcus. It's an explanation. I'm not sure why they thought he was Orcus, but there's definitely cultists of Orcus that come to Barovia. And then after that we leveled up, so now we're at level 4. We're a lot better prepared. I just took ASI, and so now I'm slightly more dexterous, which is good. But that was this week. I know that Blades in the Dark isn't technically D&D, but it's going in the diary. Anyway, thank you. Have a good one.